Molokai to Oahu is considered like the World Championships of paddleboarding. So if you're a good board paddler, then like you haven't really made your mark until you've done Molokai. You can't really be prepared for it at all until you do it, because it's just such a hard, long race. Even in the Iron Woman League, all the best board paddlers have done Molokai, so it's kind of like the most prestigious thing you can do as a board paddler. In the middle of nowhere! It is a 52-kilometre endurance paddle race between the islands of Molokai and Oahu, and that's the Kaiwi Channel, otherwise called the Channel of Bones, because it's a massive treacherous channel between these two islands, and it's 700 metres deep, and it's rough, and there's water coming from all directions, and it's windy, so it's a dangerous channel, and that's why it's such a prestigious race. That thing about it makes the race quite special, knowing that you're doing something that definitely isn't just an everyday thing. It's not just a race you can do. Like, it takes a lot of preparation and a lot of hours to not even win, but just to be able to finish it safely. The cool thing about Molokai is that the crossing is kind of like the cherry on top, but the adventure starts from like 3 months before, when you have to start planning and have to start actually thinking about how you're going to get everything over there and what you're going to use over there and how you're actually going to finish a race. The first time you do it, you're pretty much thrown in the deep end, because there's not really like a guideline of how to do it properly, so everyone's just kind of like struggling to get everything done in their amount of time. In Sydney, when it's so cold in winter, you have to be super motivated to actually get up and go for paddles in the morning when it's that cold. And I try and wear as many layers as I can sometimes, just to get used to being really hot, because like obviously I'm going to sweat so much more in Hawaii than when I will paddle here. It's all worth it for when you get over there, and then you can go for a really nice paddle in your bikini and like you're not feeling tired or anything, so I guess it's worth it. Well, I've always envisioned myself winning Molokai. Like, I've always pictured myself paddling between those two red buoys at the end and being the first girl to cross. That's been something I've been dreaming of since I was little. Because there's not many girls, we're all kind of going to be up there, but Harriet's definitely my biggest competitor. When I first made my first professional series, I was 16, so I was really young, and I was one of the youngest in the field, and Harriet and a group of other girls kind of took me under their wing, and I became like the youngest in that group, and I'm like forever grateful for them being so welcoming. We started at the same time, and she's won both crossings since we've done it, and this will be the third year that we've both done it together. I'll definitely have my eyes on her. I closed the gap by like 10 minutes last year. I could see her bobbing in front of me as we were going around the last headland. And this year I would love to be able to beat her. She is also one of the best board paddlers in our Iron Woman group, and she's won like world titles on the board, and we've kind of always been neck and neck in the board paddling. The challenge of being able to race against her is something that I'll always love, and that always excites me. I don't think my improvement's going to come from being able to paddle faster, but I think it's going to come from being able to paddle smarter. Mentally, just make it through the really tough bit at the end. That's definitely the hardest thing. It's a mental game when you get to that last bit and you can see the island and it's not getting any closer. So definitely practicing just being in really tough circumstances and getting through it is what I'll be focusing on. But it's funny, everyone will finish and be like, that was the worst thing I ever did, and then 2 minutes later they'll be like, I can't wait for next year.